We begin this half hour with the weather, not here, but in Florida, where so many Mainers have winter homes or have friends and family who may still be in the path of Hurricane Milton, which is coming ashore on Florida's west coast right now. I'm going to give you a live picture from St. Petersburg, Florida, just across the bay from Tampa, where the full force of Milton's wind and storm surge will be felt. Counties along more than half of Florida's Gulf Coast are under mandatory evacuation orders. But state emergency officials say if people aren't out of those areas by now, it is simply too late. Meteorologist Keith Carson is here with more on the storm's current strength and, of course, where it's headed tonight. And Keith, Milton a bit weaker at this hour, still a very serious threat.
Yeah, Brian, it is down to a Category 3. This is what was anticipated by the National Hurricane Center. It got some dry air entrenched in it. Looking at it on satellite, it does have a reasonable presentation, though. So I would say that the weakening is done now until it officially hits land and starts to fall apart across the middle part of Florida. Winds 120 miles an hour, gusts to 150 miles an hour. It made a really essential wobble east here just recently because we were watching it on radar and it wasn't really moving east. It was getting concerning as it was about to go right up into Tampa Bay. Now, not good news for Sarasota, but this is closer to the forecast path. A couple of things that catch my eye about this radar. One is it's about to make official landfall. That's when the eye wall comes across the land here. It's very close to that. So that's several hours faster than anticipated. And the north side of this eye wall is by far the strongest part of the storm right now. You can tell looking at the intensity of this. It falls apart on the south side. Not atypical for a hurricane to have this kind of asymmetry where the north and northeast quadrant of the storm is often the strongest part. That's why the exact position of the low is really important as it just wobbles on shore here. So we're still talking about storm surge, I think, is the biggest issue. I mean, a Category 3 hurricane has strong enough winds, obviously, to do structural damage. But when you're this close, this low lying, you're mostly looking at water shove onshore, and we're still anticipating 12 to 15 feet of storm surge south of Tampa in the Sarasota area, down to about Fort Myers. And again, the best perspective I can use here, and I think perspective is always important when you talk about weather, is that the storm surge we had, Brian, for that record tide in January was about 3 to 4 feet in Maine. Here we're talking about 12 to 15 feet across the west coast of Florida.
Yeah, hard to imagine the damage that'll be there. We'll keep tracking it. Keith, thank you. Of course, if you would like to help people in the path of both hurricanes Helene and Milton, News Center Maine is partnering with the Red Cross to collect donations. That money will not only be used to help people right now, but also in future disasters. If you would like to help, here's what you can do. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now or go to that special web address. You can also call 1-800-HELP-NOW. That is 1-800-435-7669. Keep in mind you'll be making a big difference for people going through an incredibly difficult time right now.